I have a Whirlpool stove with a PF error on the screen. I can use the ranges, but I am unable to use the oven. I do not get any response from the stove when I press any button on the panel. Is the problem the push button panel or the PWB control board? I would appreciate any kind of advice. Thanks. Sounds like your control board is damaged. It is not hard for these board to be damaged from a power failure. It happens very often. So you are saying that I should replace the control board that sits right behind the push button panel? What causes this PF error to happen? Would it be worth it to fix it or get a new stove? Should I buy a service plan for the stove if I do decide to fix it? Correct. What most likely happened is you had a power surge or power failure. Have you tried resetting the breaker? If that does not help, then yes, you would need to replace the clock. It depends upon what overall condition the oven is in as far as replacing. Do you mean the breaker in the home power box? The stove is in pretty good condition and I only had it for 2 years now. How sure are you that changing the control board will fix it? 90%? 99%, yes. Flip the breaker at the fuse panel. Okay, I replaced the control board and I was able to reset the PF fault, but I am still not able to turn the oven on. I also tried flipping the breaker fuse. Is there anything else I need to do? You replaced the board less than 3.5 hours? Check to see if there is a thermal fuse that may have blown. What is the model number of the stove?
It was really easy to replace the board, 6 screws, and I live right next to the appliance parts store. The stove is a Whirlpool model GY396LXPB02. Where would the thermal fuse be located?
You do not get any readout on the display at all? Just the time shows. My wife just informed me that she also saw fault codes F1 and F2 when it first broke. Then it finally stayed at the PF fault. Is she positive on F1 F2, not E1 F2? She says she is positive, but I don't think she looks 100%. Okay, well, if it was a F1 error and you already replaced the ERC, then you need to test the sensor. If you are still getting the F1 F2, then I would suspect the keypad. When you replaced the ERC, did you make sure the keypad was connected properly? I did make sure the keypad was connected, but where is that sensor located and how do I test it? I have a multimeter. Do I check for continuity? Yes, it is located inside the oven. It is a long metal probe mounted to the back wall. Sometimes you can remove the 2 1/4 screws and pull it inside, then disconnect it. Otherwise you would have to pull the unit out, remove the back panel to access. Once you have it disconnected, it should read 1000 to 1100 ohms at room temp, 70. Also make sure you are getting 220 at the wall outlet. If you are only getting one leg, then you will get the clock and no heat.
I'm going to check it out now.
Okay. Okay, I got 1.108 k ohms on the sensor. When I plugged the stove in and reset the breaker fuse, an E1 F2 error came on. Try disconnecting the keypad, then power it back up and see if the error comes back up. If it does not, and it really should not because you replaced the ERC already, then reconnect the keypad. If the code comes up, then I would say the keypad is your problem. Normally I would have a spare sensor on hand just to eliminate it being the problem. There's been a time where the sensor tests okay but is still found to be the problem. Also recheck all wire connections. I think I got the E1/F2 error because I didn't plug the keyboard in well. Now that I have it plugged in well, I only get the PF error with or without the keyboard plugged. When I first installed the keyboard, I was able to clear the PF error by holding down the cancel button. Now it won't let me do that. Is the new ERC board broken? If you have verified full 220 power, that's a very good possibility. There is really no way to test it.
I got 240 volts at outlet. Would that make a difference?
I would recheck that. If you are getting 240, then you might have damaged the new ERC. You should have two legs of 110.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert, now visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.